Can't buy me love. No, 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 no. Say you don't need a diamond ring and I'll be satisfied. Oh, I am so sorry just listening to a little Beatles here. Give me just a moment and we'll get started. Today I'm going to answer the question, can Christians listen to secular or non-Christian music? Hey everyone, Ron Sanchez here from The Good Read, where I help you understand the complex simplicity of the Christian faith, what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ, and how we can apply the teachings of Jesus to our everyday lives. But before we get started, if this is your first time watching, make sure you hit the subscribe button and check out any links that may be listed below for additional videos and resources that will help bring clarity to the often misunderstood and misrepresented truths of Christianity. Within a couple of years after becoming a Christian, I was convicted that I shouldn't be listening to secular music, that I should only be listening to Christian music. By definition, the word secular means of or relating to the worldly or temporal. And the word convict means to find or prove to be guilty, to convince of error or sinfulness. In Christianity, the idea of healthy conviction is the sense that Christians, followers of the teachings of Jesus, shouldn't be doing a particular thing because it is to varying degrees sinful or going against what God would want us to do. Over my 40 plus years of being a Christian, I've heard so many what started out to be discussions about such issues as this, which quickly turn out to be arguments in the spirit of disgust rather than the love that is supposed to identify Christians. And I must confess, and my children would certainly eagerly attest to the fact that I have fueled far too many of those discussions gone bad. And in the end, I do have to take responsibility for my part in making them turn into arguments. To be honest with you, I'm still trying to figure it out. So after just a couple of years of being a Christian, I felt like I should throw away all of my non-Christian albums. I guess we call them vinyls today. And as I look back, I think, man, I wonder what those gems would be worth today, or even just to have them to look at and do a bit of reminiscing. The Beatles, the Turtles, the Monkees, lots of animal band names that back then. Cream, Jimi Hendrix, Them, the Rolling Stones, Steppenwolf, and a whole lot more. All of them chucked right into the old trash-a-rooney. I can still remember the day where I was, walking out to the front, where the garbage can was, lifting the lid and throwing them in. I remember it felt good. It felt righteous at the time. It felt like I did the right thing. And for the next 20 years or so, I stood my ground that Christians shouldn't listen to anything that wasn't Christian, even if the Christian music wasn't all that good. I raised my children with the no secular music in the house rule, thinking I was doing them a favor, only to find out years later there were cassette tapes of Bon Jovi hidden under mattresses, not to mention others I've yet to hear about. And then it happened. I had slowly started listening to what I categorize as safe secular music. After all, how long can a person survive without the Beatles or only listening to Bob Dylan's Christian albums, Slow Train Coming and Saved, without a little Hey Mr. Tambourine Man mixed in there? But for the most part, I stayed strong and true until my middle son tricked me. And for my birthday, he bought us tickets to go to a Coldplay concert. I spent a lot of time studying in various Starbucks during that time where a lot of Coldplay's music was being played in the background. It was good, and it was in the background, and certainly I couldn't be found guilty for that. At first listen, the lads seemed innocent enough to me. I certainly didn't want to disappoint my son either. Well, the day of the concert came, my first secular concert of that magnitude ever. Because Christians were only supposed to go to concerts by Christian artists, weren't they? Well, we got there early along with thousands of other people, gathering at the outdoor amphitheater. It was a beautiful Northwest evening. The stage was huge and the opening band looked quite small in the sea of equipment for Coldplay that lay behind them. The first band was so mediocre that I don't even recall their name. We endured the opening act and then waited and waited and waited some more, while the stage was being set up for Coldplay. I was trying to be patient with no point of reference for what was about to happen. I really couldn't understand why it was taking so long. As it became evident that the concert was about to start, I assumed my normal concert position of arms folded and eyes fixed on the stage. I know it's a weird way to listen to concerts, but it's just the way I do it. Eventually, now it was dark, all the lights went out, and the music started with a single instrument, crescendoing in perfect timing, with the lights flashing and the full band playing, with the spotlight on Chris Martin, the lead singer, at the piano. And we were off to the races. The crowd went crazy. And with my arms folded, the most unexpected thing happened. I loved it. I'm not kidding. It was awesome. It was an event I remember to this day. The next day, with the song still ringing in my ears, I downloaded Clocks, a music video they did, and I watched it over and over again, as well as other songs they had written. Overnight, I went from being a casual Starbucks listener to a full-blown Coldplay fan. Can Christians listen to secular, non-Christian music? Can Christians attend secular concerts? Well, in Paul's letter to the Christians in Corinth, a very modern and progressive city, he wrote this: "All things are lawful for me, but not all things are helpful. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be dominated by or brought under the power of anything." What Paul says here is good news for Christians who've been hiding their secular music under their mattresses. According to Paul, and he did write a huge chunk of the Bible, of course we can. Of course we can listen to secular music. Of course we can attend non-Christian concerts. This is what Paul is saying here. But here's the thing. The bigger question for me is not can I, but should I? It's lawful, but I'm compelled to ask myself the question, is it helpful? Am I being dominated by it or being brought under its power? You see, for me, at the end of the day, the question I ask myself is not so much can I, but should I? Oh, every once in a while, I like a little shot of the Beatles or Bob Dylan or Coldplay, with even a little Neil Diamond and James Taylor thrown in. But for me, the moment I sense that it's not helping, in fact, maybe even hindering my relationship with God, I set it aside. And the interesting thing is that the more I desire to draw close to God and know Him more, the less attractive secular music is to me, the less power and allure it has on me. And honestly, I find myself somewhat disinterested. I heard someone once say, pretty graphically, yet really makes the point, you can't eat garlic all night and expect to burp spearmint in the morning. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out the links below. And if you know someone who you think might benefit from this video, be sure to share it with them. Pass it along. And please let me know in the comments section what's on your mind and if there are any topics that you would like to see me cover. I'd love to hear from you. That's why I'm here. In the meantime, you can trust the Bible. It is God's Word, and it's a very good read. Why? Because it makes sense. Have an awesome day.